Shalom. Shalom. Facing the east, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh,
Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakadash, and double honors to the elder apostles, the prophets, and the teachers. You know, the ones that have been bringing out this 100% truth all these years. Everybody else, salutations, especially to the sincere brothers and sisters. Let's get right into it. We haven't been able to come out here in a while because, I'll be honest, we couldn't afford the gas. We couldn't. We live about 50 miles from here, round trip. I'm on each day, and I don't know how I forgot my wallet, so still in the same freaking position. But we're gonna go right into it today, because this place is about to be destroyed anyway. We won't have to worry about gas prices anymore. Go to Ezekiel, chapter 7. Read 6 through 8.
Okay. Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 6.
Yep.
Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse 6. An end is come. The end is come. It watcheth for thee. Behold, it is come. Verse 7. The morning is come unto thee, O thou that dwellest in the land. The time is come. The day of trouble is near. And not the sounding again of the mountain. Verse 8. Now will I shortly pour out my fury upon thee, and accomplish mine anger upon thee, and will judge thee according to thy ways, and will recompense thee for all thine abominations.
So, that was a lot right there. He said, the end is come, and I'm going to send mine anger. We're starting to see the beginning of that right now, because everybody's going off in any which way, any which direction they want to. I mean, people are just going off these days. My anger is upon thee. I will judge thee according to thy ways. That's beautiful. I will recompense upon all your abominations. And then you skip up to verse 8 and it says, now will I shortly pour out my fury upon thee, and accomplish my anger upon thee. I will judge thee according to thy ways. Get Obadiah 1 and 15 real quick.
Obadiah 1 and 15.
I will judge thee according to thy ways, and I will recompense thee for all thy abominations. Get Obadiah 1 and 15.
Obadiah 1 and 15. For the day of Yahweh is near upon all the heathen.
The day of Yahweh is near upon all you heathens. It's coming soon. Keep going.
As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thine own head.
You hear that? The same things that you've done are going to be done to you. That reward, your reward, is the things that you did to the children of Israel. And that goes for all you nations. All you nations. What you did to the children of Israel is going to happen to you. And Edom being that number one, the leading nation of oppressors and abominations. Keep reading. Back over to Ezekiel chapter 7 and pick up where you left off.
Okay. Verse 9. And mine eye shall not spare, neither will I have pity.
Wait. He's not going to spare you, and he's not showing any pity. Keep going.
I will recompense thee.
I will repay you. Keep going.
To thy ways, according to thy ways, and thine abominations that are in the midst of thee, and ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh that smiteth.
That's beautiful. There's a lot being said there. He said, I'm not showing no mercy to you. When I go and destroy you, you're going to know it. You're going to know that it was me that did it. Keep going.
Behold, the day, it is come, the morning is gone forth, the rod hath blossomed, pride hath budded.
Keep going. So their pride is budded. In other words, they're in the greatest portion of their pridefulness right now. They're living that life that they were dreaming of. They're cutting off the Israelites. They're putting us back in concentration camps, honestly. They're doing everything that their hearts desire to us, and then calling us the criminal. Keep going.
Violence is rising up unto a rod of wickedness. None of them shall remain, nor of their multitude, nor of any of theirs. Neither shall there be wailing for them.
Oh, that's beautiful. So, the Most High said that you are going to be extinct. And none of them shall remain. You see that? None of them shall remain. None of any of their, so none of your people, none of your ancestors, none of your multitude. You're right here on this list, and you're right here on this list. These are all the real factual receipts of things that happened to us. That includes you. Going back into it. So it says, neither shall there be wailing for them. Because when wicked is in rulership, the people mourn. Right? When wicked, let me see, where is that at? When wickedness is in rulership, the people mourn. Proverbs 29 and 2. You know, I'll go ahead, get it.
Proverbs 29 and 2. Proverbs 29 and verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn.
So that's what I'm talking about. When righteousness is in authority, when righteousness is in authority, the people are going to rejoice. We're not rejoicing at this time. That's how we know that Job 9 and 24, the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. So at this time, we haven't been pulled out of this captivity. That's why it tells you in Deuteronomy chapter 28 how you're going to wear a yoke of iron upon your neck until you're destroyed. It didn't say you were coming out of slavery. It said you were going to have physical slavery until you didn't even know you were a slave anymore, and then they were going to set you back out into the streets as a slave. But you don't know it. You just think, oh, I got a job, I got a house, I got a little piece of the pie. You don't got nothing. You got crumbs off the table. You don't got nothing. We as a whole, as Israel, we don't have anything. We're literally having pieces of like I said, like, there it is. So let's go over to the book of read verse 12 again. Did you read verse 12?
Not yet.
Let's get verse 12 and we'll move on. 11 and 12 together.
11 and 12. Ezekiel chapter 7 and 11. Violence is rising up into a rod of wickedness. None of them shall remain, nor of their multitude, nor of any of theirs. Neither shall there be wailing for them. The time is come. The day draws near. Let not the buyer rejoice, nor the seller mourn. For what wrath is upon all the multitude thereof.
That's beautiful. So it tells you, going back into it, it says, neither shall there be wailing for them. That's why I told you when wickedness is in rulership, the people mourn. So while you're ruling, we're all in mourning. That's why when you die, when you're out of here, there's not going to be any wailing for you. Nobody's going to mourn your death because we're all going to be happy. Because when righteousness is in rulership, the people rejoice. So everybody, no one's going to rejoice until this wicked rulership has been removed. And then it says, the time has come. We're in that time right now. The day draws near. We're watching it. Each day gets closer and closer to it's almost like being a pessimist. You just know something bad's getting ready to happen. You just don't know when, but you know it's going to happen. That's what it means to be a pessimist. No one's always thinking that something bad is going to happen, but that's what it turns you into, because if you think about it, the way this world turns, we're due for some serious altercations, let's just say that. We're due for a change in the rulership. We're due for the wickedness to be put out and the righteousness to be put back into the rulership so we can rejoice. It's getting crazy out here. For the wrath is upon all the multitude thereof. His wrath is coming for everybody. I don't care if you're an Israelite, because Israel's going to be judged first, and then the other nations. So everybody's getting a piece of this. And the 1/3, you're going to be protected. So don't even worry about it. Just stay in the studies. Do what you're supposed to do. You're going to see it happen all around you, but it's not actually going to happen to you. It might even come close. You might even brush up against you, but the Most High is not going to let you stumble if you're truly part of that 1/3. Let's go back into it. Let's go. Let's get the book of. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah chapter 30. Start from the top, because that time is coming. That time is coming, and it's coming quick. Jeremiah chapter 30, starting from the top. Maybe that's what we'll call this class. Jeremiah 30 and 7. Go read 1 through 7 though.
Okay. Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 1. The word that came to Jeremiah from the Lord Yahweh, saying, thus speaketh the Lord Yahweh, God of Israel, saying, write thee all the words that I have spoken unto thee in a book. For lo, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will bring again the captivity of my people, Israel and Judah, saith Yahweh, and I will cause them to return to the land that I gave to their fathers, and they shall possess it. And these are the words that the Lord Yahweh spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah. For thus saith the Lord Yahweh, we have heard a voice of trembling of fear, and not of peace. Ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his...
Stop right there for a second.
Okay.
He said, it says, hold on, am I in the right chat? Here it is, verse 6. Ask ye now, and see whether a man doth travail with child. Why is this dude holding his stomach like he's in so much pain that he's giving childbirth, is what it's saying. Is this guy giving a birth? Why is he holding his stomach as a woman in travail? And what does that travail mean? That travail is talking about the pain a woman goes through when she's delivering a child, okay? So that's what that's going into. So why are we in so much pain, in other words? And all faces have turned into paleness. What's going on here? Now get verse 7.
Verse 7?
Yep.
Read the whole thing.
Okay, go ahead and finish 6, and then just get 6 and 7 together.
Ask ye now, and see whether a man does travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. Paleness? Yeah. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. So what's happening right now? Nothing just bam. It's like boom, it's there. No, it slowly, like one drop at a time, we're going into Jacob's trouble. And then what's going to happen? There is going to be a point where wham, it all hits at once. It's like you can see a tidal wave coming, but by the time you can see it, it's too late. You're not going to have enough time to get away from it. So if you've been studying all this time, you already saw this tidal wave coming 10, 20 years ago. So you've been in the position of protection. Just as long as you're following the Most High's laws. Remember, Ezekiel chapter 2, I think it's 33 and 12, tells you can keep the laws all day, but once you stop keeping them, all of your good works are forgotten. So the people that are part of that 1/3 are going to preserve themselves by staying in the truth. Let's go to the book of
Um, let's go to the book of Matthew.
Matthew.
Yeah. Chapter. You know what? Let's go to. It says that it's going to be a time of Jacob's trouble. Yeah, get Matthew chapter 24 and 13.
24 and 13.
Uh-huh. Really, you know what? Let's just get Matthew, get to 24. Don't read 13 yet. It said it's going to be a time of Jacob's trouble. So let's just go ahead and skip right to it. Go to verse, I think, 2.
2.
I think it's 2.
Okay. Matthew 24 and 2. And Yahushua said unto them, see not all these things. Verily, I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down.
So Yahushua is telling them, in this Jacob's trouble, everything's going to be destroyed. Go down to verse 6.
Verse 6, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
Keep reading.
For nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in divers places. These are the beginning of sorrows. Then shall they deliver you up to afflicted and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another.
For my name's sake.
And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive.
One another. Keep going.
And shall deceive many.
So let's go back a little. It said, let's go all the way back to 6. Now first we're going to go all the way back to 2. It said, Yahushua, when they asked him, look at how beautiful this place is, when you go back, and Yahushua said, look at this place. I'm telling you right now, ain't one stone going to be on top of another stone when we're done with this place. When this place sees its demise, it's getting destroyed. It ain't never getting built back. Then when you jump to 6, he's even telling you, how's it going to go down? Well, you're going to hear of wars, rumors of wars. You're going to see nation rising against nation, kingdom against kingdom. There's going to be famines, pestilence, and earthquakes. How many earthquakes did we have last week in the Ring of Fire? Earthquakes in diverse places. So all of these things are actually happening right now. Whether that's just blah, blah, blah. Nah, bro. Every year it gets just a little bit worse, too. Every year it's a little closer to what the scriptures are calling a change in rulership. Remember, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it thereafter. That's all there is to it. So you jump down to verse 8. It says that these are the beginnings of sorrows. So we're starting to see the beginning of what Jacob's trouble is bringing to us. Do you guys understand that? And they shall deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you, and you shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Not only physical death, because you kill a black person still to this day, a so-called black, Mexican, native nation. If you're a brown person and they so happen to kill you, somehow the murderer becomes a hero, and the victim becomes the criminal. I still haven't figured out how that works. Just like Ricky Chow, he killed that black kid. Kid was running for his life with his back to him. Didn't steal anything. He was a suspected thief of stealing a bottle of water. So the suspected thief of stealing a bottle of water got shot in the back from about 30 feet away because he was running away from the store with he didn't steal anything. So he had no contraband. But this is the things that we have to deal with. Now, what happened to Ricky Chow? Do you guys know what happened to him? They said it was self-defense. How can it be self-defense if my back is to you and I'm running from you and you shoot me in the back and kill me? And they called that self-defense. Why do you think that there's a boycott on all Asian businesses? We don't trust you anymore. And you guys think that you're with the Edomites? They're going to destroy you too. They're coming to get you. They're coming to get you. They love seeing all of us fight against each other because it makes their fight easier. And that's just one tiny, small example of how they'll kill you in the streets. It didn't say just the Edomites. It's all nations are after us. You can't go to, do you know in Iran, they still have slaves? Do you know that? So they're talking about freeing the slaves. Here, nigga, you better free the slaves in your own fucking country first. And you know what they do to their slaves? They like to hammer nails into their legs when they get pissed off and leave them there. This one lady could barely walk. When she went to the doctor, she had like 12 nails in just one of her legs. Not both, because they hadn't even x-rayed this one yet. So these are the things that we go through as Israelites when other countries, other nations feel that that's how we deserve to be treated. But our captivity, we've already been punished by Yahweh. What are you guys punishing us for? What do you think that you guys see? That's why we know the earth has been given into the hands of the wicked. If it wasn't, why are so many wicked things happening throughout? Why are there so many wicked things happening? If this was a place of righteousness, wouldn't righteousness prevail? We wouldn't have to have it. In fact, I'm going to show you in the scriptures. Wickedness won't be found in Israelites in the kingdom. You won't be able to find iniquity. You won't be able to find sin. It's the truth. It's written in the scriptures. Where were you at? Verse 8, 9? Read 10.
I've already read 10.
Read 11. Oh, wait. Read 12 and 13 together.
Verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Verse 13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
So, sin is going to take over the world. Iniquity shall abound. Okay? The love of many shall wax cold. So that's why you don't see people interacting anymore like they used to when we were kids. It's just not the same anymore. You got to be able to, you got to protect yourself. You got to lock everything. You got to worry about people trying to steal your children. I mean, the things that we're going through in this day and age, it was always happening. It's never been different. There's nothing new under the sun. But now, the difference is that we have the internet. So we can actually watch our oppression in real time. That's all that's happening right now. You're able to see what's been going on for years, thousands of years now. You finally get to see it. I finally get to see it. Now there is no more conspiracy. It's a real theory. It's not a theory, it's a fact. It's a fact that we're being oppressed. It's a fact that we line up 100% to Deuteronomy chapter 28, verses 15 through 68. It's a fact that we line up to the whole Bible as the Israelites. And then in verse 13 it says, he that endure until the end, the same shall be saved. So how do you endure until the end? How are we going to have that endurance? That's what we really need to know. That's the real question. How do we endure until the end? So go to Sirach, chapter 2, read verses 1 through 5. Let's see how we endure. Because there's specific instructions in the Apocrypha that they removed so you wouldn't know how to endure until the end. You just got to be like, well, the Christian church pastor told me all I have to do is accept Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior, and I'm saved. And I can't keep the laws, so I can do as much sin as I want. Wow, that's easy. I wish I could get into that. I mean, that's just like the easiest job ever. You don't have to do anything, make as many mistakes as you want, and you're saved. Go to Sirach, it's in the Apocrypha.
Yeah, I have it.
Go ahead, start from the top.
Wait, what chapter?
Chapter 2.
Chapter 2. Sirach, chapter 2 and 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord Yahweh, prepare thy soul for temptation.
So how do we do it until the end? Well, first step, you're going to have to be tempted, and you're going to have to overcome that. So keep going.
Set thy heart, all right, and constantly endure, and make not haste a time of trouble.
So there's another instruction. It says that there's going to be a lot of things going on, a lot of trials and tribulations. You're going to have to endure them. In other words, you're going to have to, these things are going to happen, and you're going to have to deal with it. but you're going to have to deal with it in righteousness. Read it again.
Set thy heart aright, and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble.
Set thy heart aright, constantly endure, make not haste in time of trouble. So, setting your heart aright, you've got to come back to the truth. You've got to be studying. Give me Timothy 2, 2 Timothy 2 and 15. How do you set your heart aright?
2 Timothy 2 and 15.
Let's start right there. Yeah, let's set our mind, because your heart represents your mind. So it's saying you got to get your mind right. How do you get your mind right?
2 Timothy 2 and 15. Study to show thyself approved unto Yahweh, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth.
There it is. So now we know how to get our mind right. We have to study to show ourselves approved. We can't be ashamed of this truth. We've got to study and stand powerful, strong, and confident in what the Most High. That's why it says rightfully dividing the word of truth. I'm not going to sit here and let somebody pretend like they know more than me when I know they don't. I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry. My head's like flint against yours. I'm definitely not doing that. Keep reading.
Keep reading.
Yep. Verse 3. Oh, wait, hold on. Constantly endure, make not haste in time of trouble. Let me get that too real quick. So in other words, hasty, it means to don't be so quick to try and take matters into your own hands. It says leave it up to the Most High and he'll deal with it for you. Okay, now read 3.
Cleave unto him and depart not away. Thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
So cleave unto him. In other words, once you start studying, don't depart away from those studies. Once you start studying, don't depart away. He that put his hand on the plow and looked back is no longer worthy of the kingdom of heaven. So Luke 9 and 62, it says, and Yahweh said unto him, no man having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of Yahweh. So when you go back, it says cleave unto him. So depart not away. That's putting your hands on the plow, 2 Timothy 2 and 15, studying the scripture. Now you turn back to the world and you stop doing what you're supposed to. Now you're no longer worthy of the kingdom of heaven. Do you understand that? So it says that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. So when you cleave unto him, you know there's trials, you know there's tribulations, you know there's temptation, but you've set your heart right. In other words, you got your mind right. You're studying to show yourself approved. You're not ashamed of rightfully dividing the truth. Now you can be increased at your last end. Read verse 4.
Verse 4. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate.
Now I don't know how many hundreds of times I've brought out the scripture and broke it down, but let's do it again. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. Have faith. It doesn't mean take it with, oh, I got shot today in the leg. No, it's saying have faith. Have faith in the Most High that you didn't do. I didn't die today, but I'm going to take it cheerfully. In other words, I didn't die. I'm going to be optimistic. You're going to have faith, in other words. To take something cheerfully means to have faith in Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And be patient when thou art changed to a low estate. So when all these trials and tribulations hit you, you've got to show the patience. And what does the patience teach you? It teaches you to constantly endure and not make haste in time of trouble. These are specific instructions of how to endure. He that endures until the end, the same shall be saved. These are specific instructions. Read verse 5.
Verse 5. For God is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity.
So the real gold, when you're a goldsmith, when you're gonna make gold pure, you burn it in the fire until it's liquid, right? And that burns all the impurities out of it. Now for the goldsmith to be able to know that the gold is completely pure, he's gonna be able to see his reflection in it. So the whole metaphor is when you're reflecting the Most High's work, you're like the gold that he refined. Do you understand that? Acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. So if you're an acceptable man, it means that he's going to put you through some shit that you didn't want to go through, but you're going to make it through it righteously. That's all it's talking about. Now we know how to endure until the end. We've got specific instructions in the Bible teaching us what that endurance is. So let's go back to it. Go back to let's go to Deuteronomy 28 and 45. So why are we stuck in this situation that we have to endure until the end? How did we get stuck in a situation like this? It says endure until the end. Wait a second. Why do we have to endure and nobody else does? Because if you think about it, we're the only ones, the Israelites were the only ones given a covenant by Yahweh. Nobody else was. And since we broke that covenant, we stopped following his instructions. Now we have to endure until the end. And then, if we're lucky, we could be saved. Now, you know Christianity, they already told you, oh, you just did, I love Jesus Christ and you're saved. But the Bible does not teach that. The Bible teaches, Matthew 24:13, he that endure until the end, the saved shall be saved. Deuteronomy chapter 28, starting at verse 45. You're on this list too. Anybody that's got brown skin is most likely on this list.
Deuteronomy 28 and 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he command thee.
So you're telling me that this is all part of a judgment against the Israelites, that the other nations are going to tell us that we're not Israel, that we're going to be punished in every possible way. These are the kids. Stand over here on this side. You're starting to get sun. So you see what I'm saying? Like, this stuff's all written. We know who we are just by the way the scriptures teach us. We know who we are because we line up to these curses perfectly. Nobody else does. And that's why they get mad when we bring out the curses, because they don't want to hear how the curses literally explain who we are. And so since we didn't follow the instructions, like he said, these curses are coming upon us. So we're suffering the trials and tribulations at the end times right now. Why? Because we didn't follow instructions when we had an opportunity. It's that simple. So what was that, 45? It says, you did not hearken unto the Lord Yahweh to keep his commandments. Oh, there's only 10 commandments, and then everything else is done away with. Fuck you. How's that? Fuck you for lying to us for fucking thousands of years. There's 613 commandments. Why do you think nothing's changed around here? Because you guys are out there not even keeping the 10, and then calling on the 10, and then calling on Jesus, and then going and eating pork and celebrating pagan holidays. You got to be joking, right? This has got to be a joke. Keep reading, verse 46.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
So, who's got that curse right now? Who's got that happening to them? Who's got the curses on them for a sign and a wonder, and upon all thy seed? Who has that? Who's lining up to that perfectly? It doesn't, oh, well, this person and that country, this, nah, nigga, because we're the only one that went into the transatlantic slave trade. Now you guys trying to say it didn't even fucking happen, trying to rip off all of the history right off of the walls in front of us, acting like we're not gonna, in 2 or 3 generations, not gonna know. You're never gonna be able to erase our history. You've been trying to do it since you brought us here. It ain't gonna happen. It isn't gonna happen. These curses are on us for a sign so everybody knows who we are. Everybody in this earth knows who we are, whether they admit it or not. And that's okay at this point, because the time is up. And people they can see it. They can see it. The lies, we can see the lies, we can see the iniquity, we can see all of the stealing, of the financial, everything. All of the horrible things that they've been doing all these years, because of the internet, we get to watch it in real time. So it does tell you knowledge will be greatly increased in the end. Well, this is the knowledge that it's talking about. And it says, did you read 47?
47? No.
Keep reading.
Because 40 chapter. Verse 47. Because thou servest not the Lord Yahweh with joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things.
Keep going.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger, and in thirst, and in nakedness, and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
Isn't that crazy? He's going to put a yoke of iron upon our necks. Wait a second. Transatlantic slave trade again that they're trying to say didn't happen. Physical yoke of iron. In fact, it's right here. I'm not going to bring up the paper and stuff, but it was to keep the slaves that would run away all the time, the ones that were not willing to just sit in slavery. They were free thinkers, in other words, independent thoughts. And they put these giant yokes with long bars coming off of them of iron, so when they ran through the forest in the south, they would get caught in the trees and the dogs could catch them easier. So they would keep us in those yokes of irons if we tried to escape, and then they'd come and beat you in front of the rest of the slaves, so all the other slaves knew not to try to run. So now we've done that to the point where we know that if we do something, they're going to kill us for it. And to this day, it's the same thing. But now we wear a spiritual yoke. So that's why he said you're going to wear a physical yoke until you're destroyed. That way we can put the spiritual yoke of iron on your neck. Now we're all in financial captivity. We have laws for everything. You can't leave the fucking country. And if you could, you better have permission. You got to ask. You know it. You've got to ask permission. So we are definitely 100% under their captivity right now. And then it tells you hunger, thirst, one of all things. Well, that's food, water, clothes, nakedness. You got nakedness because you got to get your clothes from these other nations. Everything about our life right now depends on the other nations allowing us to live pretty much. And the Most High is changing that. And it's happening right before our eyes. That's why it says, go out to the highways and the hedges and preach to the wind that my house may be full, because this is the real church. So the real church is opened again, and we're shutting down all them Christian bullshits because we know that they're liars. We know that they never told us the truth. We know that they said there was only 10 commandments when there's 613. We know that we have all of this history, and they deny it. They're even trying to say that this transatlantic slave trade didn't happen, but we have all of this, all these facts, all of the evidence to prove that. I mean, come on, people. How mean, how evil can you possibly be to go and kill somebody and say that person never died? That's crazy. So going back into it, read verse, because now we know we're destroyed. We know why we're destroyed. Who's destroying us? Get me verse 49 and 50.
49 and 50.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 49 and verse 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle fleeth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young.
That's us right now. I've seen them take out old people. I've seen them fucking arrest little kids. Little kids getting arrested. Old people getting shot up. And there's no recompense. They don't have any type of anything they have to do. Oh well, you know, we're gonna fire him. He'll never work at this precinct again. So these cops, the way they do, they just go to another place and start all over again. They get the $30,000 post-traumatic stress syndrome check, and then they go and get another job. Our people die, and the cop somehow and all these other nations become heroes. And it says, a nation of fierce countenance, that thou shalt not regard the person of old or show favor to the young. They don't show us favor. Who are these people? It's the same people that represent the eagle. Why do you think it says they're coming after you as swift as the eagle flyeth? Now what? Wait a second. Who represents the eagle? It's our oppressor. That's who represents the eagle. Not just America, but when you go back in time and in history, that eagle is literally a banner above every place that has put us in captivity at some point. Especially from Rome till now, all eagles, all the same person. Let you know who our real captor is. Let's go back into it. I'm looking for go over to stay in Deuteronomy 28 and jump up to verse 58. Read it. 28 and 58.
Deuteronomy 28 and 58. If thou wilt not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in
Wait a second. Not just 10 commandments. All the words of the law. Not just 10 commandments. Keep reading.
that are written in this book, that thou mayest fear the glorious and fearful name, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua.
Keep reading.
And then the Lord Yahweh will make thy plagues wonderful, and plagues of thy seed, even great plagues and of long continuance, and sore sicknesses, and of long continuance.
Yep, keep reading.
Verse 60. Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt which thou was afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee.
But what does 61 say? Now we know all the diseases that we knew about in history are going to be on us. But wait, there's more. Read verse 61.
Verse 61. Also, every sickness and every plague which is not written in the book of this law, then will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed.
So he's telling you not only all of the sicknesses and diseases that you knew about in history, he's going to put all these new sicknesses and diseases that aren't even written in the book. He's letting you know that all the things that are happening right now, it's been prophesied for thousands of years that these things were going to happen to the Israelites. And after the Israelites' judgment is over, it's going to happen to the rest of the nations. So he's coming to get you guys soon. All you other nations that don't realize that you're oppressing Israel because you think it's just a normal day, you guys are doomed. And what verse was that?
61.
So that's right. Every sickness and every plague which is not written in this book, he's also going to bring those upon everybody. But Israel first. These are curses against Israel. This is why we have to endure until the end. See, at the end, when the Most High removes the curses from us, you guys won't have curses removed from you. You'll never be able to raise your head up again. And it also, let's keep reading. It said, get verse 62.
Verse 62. Verse 62. And ye shall be left few in number, whereas ye were as the stars of heaven, for multitude, because thou wouldest not obey the voice of the Lord Yahweh.
And then, oh man, I love that verse, because it says that we outnumber the stars in heaven, but we will be left few in number. So that is a metaphor. We still outnumber the stars of heaven, but only a remnant, only 1/3 is going to actually wake up and come back to the 100% truth. So that's why it says that you'll be left few in number. In fact, was that verse? Wait, that you should. Let's get it. Give me Zechariah 13 and 8.
Zechariah 13 and 8.
Yeah, we'll go back to Deuteronomy in a second. but we're going to be left few in number. So what that's saying is that there's only going to be a very small portion of Israel that actually follows the laws. Go ahead and get me Zechariah 13 and 8.
Oh, 13. Zechariah 13 and 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord Yahweh, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein.
And there it is. So that when we're going to be left few in numbers, 2/3 are going to be cut off and die, and the rest are going to, that 1/3 that's left, they're going to be left. They're going to be the ones that are saved because we stuck with the truth sincerely, righteously, not expecting a bag like the camp leaders. Go back to Deuteronomy. So we know that only 1/3 is going to be saved. Now I'm showing you. The scriptures are literally telling you only 1/3 shall be saved. Just keep going in Deuteronomy 28 until you read 50. You read 61. Read get me 62.
I read 62.
Did you? Oh, then all right, we're done with that. Let's move on. I'm sorry. Let's go to Revelation chapter 13. And we're going to show you how we're going to be left few in numbers now. We're going to show you how are we going to be left few in numbers. Well, it's going to be very simple. It's all written in the book. So the book will tell us how we'll be left few in numbers as Israelites, because the other nations aren't going to make it. So go over to start at verse 11. Revelation 13 and 11. Start at verse 15. We'll skip over it and get right to the point.
Okay.
So this is how we're going to be left few in number. Go ahead.
Revelation 13 and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
So the image of this beast, if you aren't going to be a part, and really it goes into biometrics. So the image of the beast, if you're not going to be part of his biometrics, then you're going to be put to death. You don't have to pay on Sundays at this machine. Hey, you don't have to pay on the machine on Sundays. You don't have to pay today. It's Sunday. Only Monday through Friday. All right, that guy's so dumb. He's probably just gonna pay anyway. Black guy said it, so probably won't listen. That's so funny. So, start at verse 15. Revelation 13 and 15.
I read it.
I'm sorry, 16.
Verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, and bond to
Free and bond.
And free and bond to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
So that mark, it doesn't read mark in the original language that it was written in for you guys, because you guys have it in like Greek and Latin. It was really, but not getting into what the Bible was written, how it was written. But the original writing was in Greek or Latin. That word in Greek is charagma. So the word charagma means subdermal implant of a foreign object placed beneath the skin. So if you have to receive a mark, when you go back to the original text, the word is charagma. It means biometrics. What are biometrics? Digital subscription to the new society of a foreign object placed beneath the skin. The Bible doesn't lie, people lie. The Bible's telling so much truth that most people want to deny it. And that's the dead serious truth. So how are we going to be left few in numbers? Anybody that gets that mark, that charagma, that biometric, that digital insert, they are going to be put to death. If you don't believe me, Revelation chapter 14, start at verse 9.
Revelation 14 and 9?
Yes.
Revelation 14 and verse 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured without mixture into a cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb.
So wait a second. So if you receive the biometric in these end times, and it only tells us that 1/3 of us ain't doing that, but you 2/3 are going to be doomed with, and the judgment that's coming for you. He says that I am not going to show not even a speck of mercy on you. When I'm giving you full wrath, I'm going to show you how angry I really am about the way that you treat this world and your own life. So enough with that. Now we understand. We finally understand that if we're doing the ways of the world, that's why it says if you put your hands on the plow, if you start studying, and you're going to find out these things, then you go back into the world, you're going to end up with that mark, and you're going to end up dead. All of your good works will be forgotten. Okay? It's literally what the scriptures are trying to explain in the simplest ways. Go to Daniel chapter 12, start at verse 1.
Daniel chapter 12.
Yeah, read through verse 3.
Read 1 through 3. Daniel 12 and 1. And at the time shall Michael stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation.
Wait a second. I just told you about that in Jeremiah 30 and 7. It's the time of Jacob's trouble. Keep reading.
Even to that same time, and at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that
is written in the book of life.
And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall wake, come to everlasting life. And some the same, and are everlasting contempt.
That's beautiful, but he told us that we're going to be saved in the time of Jacob's trouble. Not only in Deuteronomy 30 and 7, but now in Daniel 12, 1 through 3. It's saying the same thing. Go to Deuteronomy 30 and 3. Let's see if it's really saying that.
I didn't read 3 yet, I read 2.
Oh, read verse 3 and then we'll jump over.
Deuteronomy 12 and 3. And they that be wise shall shine. Daniel 12 and 3. And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament, and they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever.
Beautiful. Now, give me Deuteronomy 30 and 3, because the 1/3's getting saved out of here. And that's the only people that it's talking about right now. When it talks about being saved, there's only 1/3. I showed you that already in Zechariah 13 and 8. Deuteronomy 30 and 3.
Deuteronomy 30 and 3. That then the Lord Yahweh will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and will return and gather thee from all the nations, whether the Lord Yahweh thy God hath scattered thee.
You know what? I like that so much. Let's get one more. Let's put a nail in the coffin. Give me Isaiah 41, 8 and 9.
Isaiah 41, 8 and 9.
Yep. Yep. We're gonna make sure that the Most High chose Israel. Let's go.
Isaiah 41 and 9 or 8. Isaiah 41 and 8. But thou, Israel, art my servant Jacob, whom I have chosen.
Israel and Jacob have I chosen. They're my servants. Keep going.
The seed of Abraham, my friend. Thou whom I have taken from the ends of the earth, and called thee from the chief men thereof, and said unto thee, Thou art my servant, I have chosen thee, and not cast thee away.
So the Most High has chosen Israel. They're his servants. We're his servants. And he has chosen us. He hasn't cast us away. This is just part of the punishment of Israel. But when our righteousness comes back to fruition, you're going to wish that you treated us differently. Let's just put it that way. But it's not possible at this time, because you don't even believe that we're the real Israelites. And that's part of, that's why we're cast to the four corners of the earth, so you guys can try and remove our identity. What's the whole point of putting a yoke of iron upon thy neck if you're not trying to destroy something? You want to destroy our identity, you want to destroy our culture, you want to destroy our dress code, you want to destroy our dietary plan, you want to destroy us completely, 1,000% as a people. And you couldn't do it. You still can't. 2/3 of you therein are going to die. But even most of you know who you are. You just forbear. In other words, you reject the scriptures. Let's go. Let's move around some more. Let's go to Zechariah chapter 14 and start at verse 1. Did we get Isaiah 48? Yeah, we did. 41, 8, and 9. How we got that, right?
Isaiah 41, 8, 9.
Yeah, we did that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Let's get Zechariah 14, 1 through 3.
Zechariah 14, 1 through 3.
Yeah.
Behold, Zechariah 14 and 1. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle, and the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled, and the women ravished, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity, and the residue of the people shall be cut off from the city. Then shall the Lord Jehovah go forth and fight against those nations as when he fought in the day of battle.
Is that Zechariah 1 through 3?
Yeah.
So the question here is, why is it such great destruction? Why do we have such a great destruction coming? Let me go back over there to Zechariah real quick. 14, right? Zechariah 14. Oh my gosh. Come on. Zechariah, what was that? 1 through 3, right?
Yeah.
So, all the nations at this point are against us. If you told somebody you're an Israelite, they'll say, "Oh, you're from Israel?" And they know exactly what's going on. They do that to play semantics. They pretend to be dumb on purpose. They do that purposely. That's why the Most High said that I will where is it? It's in Isaiah 41. Sorry. But he said, what is he? So he said that he was going to pull us from the east. And he said, I'm going to raise up the righteous. The 1/3 is going to get pulled from the east, the west, the north, and the south, from the four corners of the earth. He's going to come and save us. The people that are oppressed, the people that have been pushed down to the bottom, that are a part of that, and these things are real. This is all real history that really happened to us. And that's why they get so mad, because they want us to they don't want us to remember this stuff. They want us to be like, oh, let's let bygones be bygones and everything's okay. But doesn't the scripture say that our enemy's blood has to pour on the land that they put our blood on? So that's going to happen. We've been destroyed as a nation, as a people. We don't even know that we're all related. All of us are related together. That's an overview, but the Israelites are scattered to the four corners of the earth. But when during the transatlantic slave trade, these tribes were in these places, and we were shipped on these ships, and this is how it looked. And if you're a black, Mexican, native nation,
My mom's black.
So your mom's black?
And yeah, my dad's white. Mexican.
He's like a Mexican?
So I'm black.
You're both. So you're Mexican, so that makes you, where does it say Mexican on here? Argentina, Mexico, right there. Issachar. So Jacob had 12 sons. They were called the 12 tribes of Israel, right? So it wasn't just a Jew. Everybody's a Jew now. Everybody's the Jew. Well, the real Jews came here on slave ships. Remember the Hebrews and feeding the kids to the alligators and making postcards out of it? The Hebrews. Well, what happened to that? All of a sudden, that's erased history, like Trump going around trying to take all of our slave history, and he's ripping it down as we speak right now. He's getting rid of all the museums and everything because they want to remove slavery and say that never happened. But we know that the Most High right now, he's pulling us from the four corners of the earth, and he's bringing all the Israelites back together. Not physically, we're all going to get on an airplane and be in the same place. He's pulling our minds out of the captivity from the four corners of the earth, that we know who he really is, and that we know we've been lied to. That's why it says the veil has been lifted. I will see your shame. In other words, what's so shameful about these people? Everything we know about them is a lie. Every fucking thing. And they go eating and raping, robbing children. Children. And we know this. It's like a real fact. It's not like something I made up. We can go on the news right now, search thousands of videos and updates. And every time we say, hey, we want to see the Epstein files. Well, hey, we're going to bomb Iran until you guys never bring it up again. Epstein files. Half an hour later, Iran. Half an hour later, Epstein files. Another half an hour, Iran. Do you not see the sequence? What it happened during Clinton, it happened during Bush, it happened during Obama. They'll do something wrong, and then they'll do a distraction. These wicked people are being seen now. That's why I tell you, the veil's been lifted. We can see what you're doing. We can see your wickedness. And this is not our people. We're dark, fucking brown people. But we've been intermingled and scattered to the four corners of the earth. So I have this son right here, and there's another son right there. One of my sons, he came out white with straight hair. Same mother. So, you know what I'm saying? They all have the same mom. So it's not really complexion based at this point, but when the original Israelites, it was very easy to, even as an African, and the Israelites are black, you could still point around and go, nope, they're not like us Africans. They're not like us. Just akata. Akata means nigga in their language. So they're not, just like the stupid song, they're not like us. They don't look like us, they don't smell like us, they don't dress like us. Do you know where everything in this country, like you got your marriages, your laws, your blacksmiths, all that stuff, that all came from us. Your lights, your toilets, your air conditioners. Even Patterson invented the car, but Mercedes and Benz got the credit for it. Patterson was they were black freed slaves that was in direct competition against Sears and Roebuck. Against Henry Ford in the Sears and Roebuck magazine. So you remember back when Sears first opened, you could buy a whole house, a car, buy morphine. You could buy anything from Sears. They were the main drug dealer. But Patterson disappeared. Henry Ford gets credit for the assembly line. Mercedes and Benz gets credit for inventing the car. You've never even heard of a Patterson. Do you know that they had a higher quality car that drove better than the Ford?
Really?
Yes, they did. And it's so on and so forth. Everything about this place, everything that this place has that's a benefit for us was invented by us. A Cherokee invented Motorola, like the cell phone. Cherokee. That dude was a black dude. A little old black lady invented GPS. It's just so on and so forth. So when we go through our people, we'll see that we invented everything, we've done everything, and we've been persecuted the whole way through. They don't want us to know who we are. That's why they say, you'll wear a yoke of iron upon your neck until you're destroyed.
The reason I said that my mom is black is because, with green eyes and light skin, I didn't experience, the racism or anything, because in the 80s in LA,
Yeah, I'm from LA.
Well, the riots and all that stuff.
Mhm.
It was scary to grow up there. But I didn't know why I was so fearful of my brother. Well, my brother's a black American, and with all the media coverage of all the black crimes, I was like, well, why do I feel so
But do you notice
scared?
that they never show any white crimes?
Well, and let me bring this to you. I didn't realize until I said, well, wow, you know, I watch all these news coverage and all this black violence and all this stuff, and not realizing that my brother, you know, I love him, that's my brother, but I didn't even realize that he was black. My whole childhood.
So I understand what you're saying. You didn't realize that there was a
I
color
saw no
separation.
color.
I didn't know
color.
that either. I grew up at Venice Beach. Everybody from all over the world comes there. So I never actually understood racism until I moved to Arizona. And then I was like, oh, well, I've never even heard that before. It caught me off guard. I didn't even know how to react the first time somebody treated me like with a racist kind of tone, because I am from a place where everybody from around the world is where I'm at. But I understand that, not knowing he's black. But isn't it interesting how Fauci killed millions of people, but he's not considered a murderer? Trump systematically taking out our people. Nope, we can't mess with that guy either. You got all of the serial killers. I'll put a fucking billboard with all the serial killers. There might, maybe, I'm not sure. There might be one black guy, maybe a Mexican guy. But and the only Mexican guy I know, because I lived in Pomona, and Richard Ramirez came into our town like I would say about a couple miles up from where I live during the day and tried to sneak into a Mexican person. He tried to sneak into a Mexican person's house. He, being Mexican, should have known better. They beat him like a fucking block party. But the thing is that all of those other serial killers are white. All of the mass murderers that rule the countries are white. But then when there's a newsreel, they're going to show a black guy committing a petty crime and say, look at these niggers, look at them, they're the worst thing on earth. And they do that around the world because we're hated for his namesake. And so the only thing they know is color separation, because that's what we're taught. We're taught, are you black, white, Mexican, Islander? You have to sign it on a piece of paper, or I'd rather not say it. Why? It's.
And now it's your race is either white or black. You know what I mean? And I didn't, being Mexican, I never realized that. Okay, well, what am I? You know? And then I started to really think about my background, and I was like, well, wow. You know, this whole time I didn't even realize. You know, and it just I was so embarrassed with myself. I was like, here I am trying to survive LA and not understanding, like, yeah, you're right in the middle of the whole thing, because
you're like on the fence, because you could go to either side and they would accept you. And so that's what Moses from the Exodus, that's what he was facing, because you got to remember, he was a liaison for the king until he left. So he was like really high up in the kingdom, because remember, he was with the Pharaoh. But he could be over here with the Pharaoh and have a good life, but his family's over here being oppressed. What did Moses choose? He chose to be oppressed with his family. See, that's what you're getting. You're realizing.
I benefited from my education, and I took my whole family out of the hood, and I said, well, we're going to do this. We're just going to be educated people that just, take care of each other, and we're good people. That's it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be out there on the streets with my brother and supporting the struggle, and I don't want that for my brother.
It's not about the struggle. It's like your mindset has to come past. You have to, as a person, you have to break that that generational curse for yourself before you can move forward to other people. And it's a tough thing, because me and myself, I get stuck in the same routine, and I have to get out of it. You can't be this person anymore. That's why I tell a lot of people that I used to hang out with. They went, hey, bro, I've seen you since high school, bro. I'm like, yeah, and that fucking guy doesn't exist anymore. You're not going to like the guy that I am now, because I'm about this. I'm about this 100% truth. I'm not about anything else. And so we have to keep to ourselves now, because when you do get around people that aren't like-minded to the truth, they're offended. They get offended at you because you live a certain way, and it's like, oh, so you think you can just keep out the laws and you're over-righteous now. Well, I guess that's what you want to call it. We can keep the laws to the best of our ability, according to our knowledge, applying what we learn to our life, knowing in the end times there's things that are going to get you put in prison for life if you keep that law. So that law's been done away with. There's dietary laws that deal with farming that we don't keep anymore, because none of us farm. We go to the fucking supermarket. And it tells you in your captivity, the food you eat will be unclean to you. And that is literally, it's like a parable. In other words, it's a double message. It's telling you that the actual physical food we eat is going to be poisonous, and we know that. But also, the doctrines they teach you, it's unclean. They'll teach you it's okay to eat pork. It's okay to eat crab and lobster. Oh, those laws are done away with. Remember Paul, he had the dream? Yeah, but that dream wasn't, they don't understand the dream. You got to understand the Bible before you can start telling people how to live. The best thing that people could do is go all the way back to the laws to keep them to the best of their ability according to their knowledge, applying what you learn. There's no other way. And everybody's like always trying to find a different way around it. There is no other way. You come back to righteousness, you're part of the 1/3. You choose to forbear, in other words, reject, then so be it. I mean, there's nothing anybody can do to help you other than you help yourself. Or the Most High said, I never chose you anyway. Or depart from me, you workers of iniquity, right? But so there were people, according to the beginning of time, that were always chosen. And so I can see that you probably got places to be, but thank you for listening to us.
Thank you so much for being out here and just educating us or bringing our attention to the things that really matter. You know what I mean? Of the many things that
it tells
pick
us.
Up a Bible and prepare myself.
If you really need help, seek ye first the Lord, then all things will be added unto you. So there's nothing here. Somebody can throw you $1 or $5, and that helps you out for about 10 minutes. But if you seek the Most High, now you're rich. In other words, you don't have anything else to worry about because He's going to take care of your finances. He's going to take care of the roof over your head. He's going to take care of your family. But you have to take care of Him by doing His work. So, all right. You have a really good rest of the day.
You too. Thank you so much.
So let's go back into it. We were at we're just going to keep going. We haven't been out here in a month. And we just haven't had the money, man. We're fucking broke just like everybody else. We don't take donations. We don't do none of that shit. You know that. So where were we going back to it?
Really goes both ways, doesn't it?
Where were we at? Go to Matthew chapter 24, start at 21 and 22. We're going to go back into the destruction of earth. Matthew chapter 24, start at 21. Just give me 21 and 22. We're going back in the earth destruction. Picking up where we left off. Matthew chapter 24 and 21. Okay.
Matthew chapter 24 and verse 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be.
Yes, absolutely.
And except those days shall be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
All right. So, let me get it really quick. Sorry, I'm like, my tablet's just messing with me. Matthew chapter 24. Let's go back to it really quick. Sorry about that. I was trying to get there and it wouldn't let me in. Starting at verse 21. And it reads, there shall be a great tribulation, like was never before. It's saying the same thing as Jeremiah 30 and 7. There shall be a great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time. So we're coming into that great tribulation, and that's beautiful because when the Bible always speaks of during the deliverance, it's like a woman in travail. And so it's like a woman giving birth. So during this great, it says that the time of tribulation would be so horrible, that this time is going to be so horrible. You've never seen it before like this in the world. In other words, it's like that woman right before she gives birth. It's like the worst, most horrible pain when that baby's head pops out. When the crown, that's what they call it too. When the head's about to pop out, it's called crowning, right? So the baby will be crowning. And so in these great, great tribulations, these great terrible times, That's when the crown is going to show himself. The head is going to expose himself. And what's going to happen? It says, listen to this. It says, except those days should be shortened, no flesh should be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So, right when the crown starts to show, that's when the days are going to get shortened. When the head is exposed, that's our time. That's our cue. That's when we leave. That's when you can no longer find us. When you search to and fro, here and there, up and down, and searching for the word of Yahweh, it's going to be gone because we're taking it with us. We're taking it with us. And if those days don't be cut short, so these days are coming to an end, and you see the days are getting quicker and quicker and quicker because the times are changing. It's time for us to go back into rulership. And it's crazy. Our time is here and now. Everybody else is the ones that are having the problems. We're not having any more problems. Well, I would really like it if this thing would just put up my stuff. I mean, let's see, it just keeps erasing everything. So we got a couple more verses. So let's go over to Joel 2:11 and through 13.
What?
Joel, Joel.
Joel.
Joel. I said Joel.
Then the Apocrypha?
Joel, it's in the Old Testament, right
found
before
it.
the New
I
Testament.
found it.
Told you to start figuring out what the scriptures are.
Chapter
2. Start at verse 11 through 13.
Joel, chapter 2 and 11. And the Lord Yahweh shall utter his voice before his army, for his camp. He is very great, for he is strong, that executeth his words. For the day of the Lord is great and very terrible, and who can abide it?
So who's gonna be able to withstand the day of Yahweh? Now you already know that the 1/3 has been taken out of here. So when the day of the Lord comes, you guys are not going to be able to withstand it. You're not going to make it. Keep reading.
Therefore also now saith the Lord Yahweh, turn ye even to me with all your heart, and with fasting, and with weeping, and with mourning.
He wants you to turn your mind back to the truth. He wants you to start going on fasts. You know, because prayer and fasting is how you get results in the kingdom. So if you want to be part of this truth, you have to go back to prayer and fasting and weeping and mourning. Well, what's to mourn about? Because we're in captivity. Why do you think Job didn't even want to be born? I wish I was born dead, is what he said. Why? Because he was born into captivity. And it tells you, better is death, better is the end of a thing than the beginning of a thing. When Yahushua was born, he had to flee to Egypt for 2 years to run from someone trying to kill him. But in his death, all the Israelites have been saved, right? So he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever shall believe in him shall not perish but have everlasting life. So that was our salvation. So in his birth, he had to run for his life, and in his death, we found salvation. That's why they tell you it's better the end of a thing than the beginning. So anyway, going back to it, it said that the Lord wants us to come back to him and we're supposed to be what? We're going to be with our minds. We're going to be studying. We're going to be fasting. We're going to be weeping and mourning, knowing where we're at, what position we hold on earth. Whether you drive a damn Rolls Royce or you walk with no shoes, we're all in the same position.
Verse 13.
Verse 13.
And rend your heart, and not your garments, and turn unto the Lord Yahweh, for he is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and of great kindness, and repenteth him of the evil.
This is beautiful. Rent your mind, not your garments. Don't go, I'm so mad, so you're out there on the corner so everybody can see you. That's all. You're doing it so everybody can see you. He's saying, like, physically change yourself. In other words, physically change. And let's get off of that. Let's move around some more. Um, let's go to Zephaniah, Z-E-P, Zephaniah, chapter 1, starting at verse 14.
Zephaniah 1, Zephaniah 1 and 14. The great day of the Lord Yahweh is near. It is near and has said greatly, even the voice of the day of the Lord. The mighty man shall cry there bitterly.
The mighty man is our oppressor. So the great day of the Lord is coming near. I've been saying it for over an hour now. The Lord is coming. It's not going to stop. Each second that ticks is a second closer to the salvation of the Israelites, because that is the day of the Lord that's coming. Keep reading.
That was 14,
15. Did you read? You started at 14, right?
yeah.
Keep going.
15. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. That was 15.
Right. I'm trying to find something. Hold on. Read it again. It was 15th, the day of like that day is a day of wrath. Now I showed you in Revelation 14 that when he brings that wrath, he's not gonna hold back. He's giving his full amount of anger. Okay? A day of trouble and distress, a day of wastedness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloom, a day of clouds and thick darkness. And that's showing you, like, we're coming into that time right now. Each day, like I said, each second ticks closer to us being completely engulfed in Jacob's trouble before we even know it. Most people don't even see it coming because they believe that this book is fake, and they got all these other weird ass things that they believe in, because it tells you many books will drive a wise man mad. But that's why they have all of this information out, so you can be confused. We keep reading.
16.
Yep.
A day of the trumpet and alarm against the fence, cities against the high towers.
The day of the trumpet, the blowing of the horn, the alarm, that warning day against the fenced cities and the high towers. Those are the rulerships. Keep reading.
And I will bring distress upon men, that they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord Yahweh.
In other words, they're not going to have any wisdom to know right from wrong in these end times. Keep going.
And their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as the dung.
They're poured. Oh my gosh. So, and their blood shall be poured out as dust, and their flesh as dung. And I've mentioned this before in a class, because you're going to be dead and the birds are going to be feeding on you. And as they fly across the earth, they're going to be taking shits and dropping you everywhere. You're going to be dung across the earth. Verse 18.
Neither their silver nor their gold shall be able to deliver them in the day of the Lord's wrath.
You know what? That silver and gold belongs to us anyway. You stole it. So how are you going to save yourself with stolen goods? Here, just save me, and here you can have your stuff back. You guys are dumb. Keep going.
But the whole land shall be devoured by fire of his jealousy, for he shall make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land.
He's going to get rid of you real quick. And that's going to be it. There is no saving you. So really, at this point, we're going through the motions, trying to wake up that last percentage of the 1/3 that's going to be saved. We're not really out here for anybody else. I mean, of course you're supposed to hear the truth so you can reject it. But honestly, we're only out here for the 1/3. And we got a couple more scriptures, and then we're gonna call it. Get me we're gonna go back to because he said he's gonna do a quick riddance of you, right? Go back to Jeremiah chapter 30 and go pick up where you left off, because you read verse 7 telling us it was Jacob's trouble. Start at verse 8.
Jeremiah chapter 30
And verse 8.
and verse 8.
Yeah.
Jeremiah chapter 30 and verse 8. For it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will break his yoke from off thy neck.
He's going to take our captivity away from us. We will no longer be captives. Keep reading.
And will burst thy bones, and strangers shall no more serve themselves of him.
Keep going. So the strangers are no longer going to be able to get rich off of our backs. Keep going.
But they shall serve the Lord, Yahweh, and David, their king, whom I will raise up unto them.
So we're going to serve Yahweh and King David. That's what's going to happen to the 1/3. And then it says all Israel shall be saved, right? So you know that 2/3 is going to be born back into the kingdom in righteousness. 30 and where were you at?
30 and
9. But they shall serve Yahweh and King David, whom I will raise up unto them. Keep going.
verse 10.
Yep.
Therefore, fear thou not, O my servant Jacob, saith the Lord Yahweh, neither be dismayed, O Israel, for lo, I will
Save thee from
save
afar.
thee from afar, and thy seed from the land of their captivity. And Jacob shall return and shall be in rest, and be quiet, and none shall make him afraid.
One more.
11.
Uh-huh.
For I am with thee, saith the Lord Yahweh,
Who's he with? Because he's just finished talking about Jacob Israel. He's with us. Keep reading.
to save thee, though I make a full end of all nations, whether I have scattered thee.
He said he's going to take out everybody that he scattered us to. All these different nations that have been oppressing us, he's taking you out. Keep going.
Yet will I not make a full end of thee, for I will correct thee and measure, and will not leave thee altogether unpunished.
I will correct thee in measure. I will not leave thee altogether unpunished. But he also says that I'm going to punish everybody, but I will not make a full end to thee. Because I already showed you in Zechariah 13 and 8 that 1/3 shall be saved. So we know that 1/3 is going to be saved. We know that we're under a punishment. He's judging us in measure. So you guys have to understand, you are accountable for your actions. You're being held accountable for your actions. Go to Romans 11 and 26. We got 3 more and we're done.
Romans 11 and 26.
Yes. So all Israel shall be saved. As it is written, all Israel shall be saved.
Romans 11:26. And so all Israel shall be saved, as it is written, there shall come out of Zion the deliverer, and shall turn away ungodliness from Jacob.
So as I told you, I already told you that all Israel will be saved. I told you that 2/3 are going to have to die a painful death on this side, and that 1/3 that follows the instructions will be saved. So, but it's saying that all Israel is going to be saved. And then I also told you that 2/3 will be born back into the kingdom through the 1/3 in righteousness. That's how all Israel shall be saved. It's very simple stuff. A lot of people like to make it into brain surgery, but it's not. It's very, very simple. Let's go Jeremiah chapter 50, starting at verse 18.
Jeremiah,
18 through 20.
Jeremiah chapter 15.
50,
Oh, 50.
starting at 18.
18. Jeremiah chapter 50 and 18. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh, behold, I will punish the king of Babylon and his land, as I have punished the king of Assyria.
So he's going to punish the king of Babylon. Why do they call this place Secret Babylon? This is Secret Babylon because of the culture. Everything about this culture is Babylonian. Go over to verse 19.
And I will bring Israel again to his habitation, and he shall feed on Carmel and
Bashan.
Bashan, and his soul shall be satisfied upon Mount Ephraim and
Galilee.
Galilee.
Verse 20.
In those days and in that time, saith the Lord Yahweh, the iniquity of Israel shall be sought for, and there shall be none.
What did I tell you earlier? That I was going to bring out a scripture that tells you you are not going to be able to find any type of sin in the nation of Israel. Read it again.
And the sins of Judah, and they shall not be found, for I will pardon them whom I reserve.
Where were we at? Why am I It keeps putting me in a fucking new chapter. It keeps changing the chapters on me in the middle of it. Okay, so you were at 20. In those days and in that time, saith Yahweh, the iniquity of Israel shall be sought for. So they're going to be looking for Israel to be sinning, and there shall be none. That is beautiful. We will finally be back to righteousness. And the sins of Judah, they shall not be found, because we will no longer. So it tells you that the stony heart has to put on a fleshly heart, and the mortal has to put on immortality. And when we receive that, believe me, we will no longer be stuck in the sinful flesh. People don't understand what's going on here, but you are about to find out. I will pardon and reserve them. In other words, we are in sin right now. No matter who you're talking to, anybody that tells you they haven't sinned or they're not sinning, they're liars. So he's going to pardon our sins and remove us from this captivity. Let's move around a little more. We got a couple more verses, like I said, and then we're done. Yep. We've been building up to this whole class because we know that we're in Jacob's trouble, or that we're coming into a time of Jacob's trouble. We're seeing how it's playing out. But it also says that he shall be saved out of it. So, let's go ahead and get that too. One of my favorite verses in the whole Bible. We're going to close out with this. Isaiah 14, 1 and 2.
Isaiah 14, 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Isaiah 14, 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Isaiah 14 and 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel.
Wait a second. It didn't say anybody else. He's going to have mercy on Jacob and yet choose Israel. And the strangers that it's getting ready to talk about, or if you want to say that the strangers are other nations, it's slavery. Go according to the next verse. I don't care how you put it. The strangers are going into slavery. Unless it's what I say, these strangers are the Hellenized Israelites that don't know who they are. So they cleave to the house of Jacob. Keep reading. Let's get it out.
And set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them. They shall cleave to the house of Jacob, and the people shall take them and bring them into their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids.
So,
And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors.
do you hear that? The Most High is choosing Israel. Choosing Israel. All the people that oppressed us are going into slavery. So if you think that you're a stranger that's going to be cleaved unto us and not be an Israelite, read verse 2, bro. You're going to be a slave, just like you did to us. And you're going to get twofold. It's going to be twice as bad for you as it was for us. Read it. Why do you guys keep denying the Bible? Because you know what it says. Get Revelation 22 and 7.
Revelation 22, verse 7. Behold, I come quickly. Blessed is he that keepeth the sayings of the prophecy of this book. And jumping down to 12. And behold, I come quickly. My word is with me to give every man according as his work shall be.
So, read 7 again.
Behold, I come quickly. Blessed is he that keepeth the sayings of the prophecy of this book.
That is the 1/3. Blessed is he that keepeth the sayings of the prophecy of this book. Those are the people that put their hands on the plow and keep working until the end. He that endureth until the end, the same shall be saved. Study to show thyself approved. A workman not be ashamed, rightfully dividing the word of truth. That's what it's talking about. That's the one. Read it again.
Behold, I come quickly.
Blessed is he that keepeth the sayings and the prophecy of this book. Those are the people that study and stay studying. Those are the people that go out into the highways and hedges. Those are the people that tell you the truth that aren't expecting anything in return. Now get verse 12.
And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me. Give every man according as his word shall be.
And that goes for you other nations too, because I showed you in Obadiah 1 and 15, your reward is going to be the works that you put out. For you 1/3 Israelites, I can't wait to see you in the kingdom. For you 2/3, you'll be born into righteousness, but on this side I can't deal with you. And with that being said, if you got eyes to see, if you got ears to hear, spiritually, I hope you got something out of this message. We're skating right along the edge of what we'll consider the end times. And with that being said, we want to face the east. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem.
and double honors to the elder apostles, the prophets, the teachers, the sincere Akyawa, Akwak, everybody that's bringing out this 100% truth in these end times. Shalom.